Hi everyone, since a long time now I want to do this video for you as a support, to share my experience, and also it's a way of thanking so many women and couples that could help me in my journey, in my special case, and this is what I wanted to share with you. So a bit to myself, a bit to my story. I have 3 children. I started having children when I was 34, and I had already 3 children, and with no problems at all. I was, of course, not that old for child, for being pregnant or for keeping pregnant, and my experience was the following. When we wanted to have the 4th child, I was 41, and as in all the past cases, I didn't have any problem to get pregnant, but in the week 10th of my pregnancy, then I went to the doctor, and she didn't tell me she didn't have a heartbeat. And so the baby I was expecting, I didn't expect anything at all, but it was dead. This is the loss that I suffered more, because I didn't expect it. I thought, okay, I am blessed that I can have so easily children. It's very easy for me to get pregnant, even at age 41 or later. And I didn't know that it was going to happen. I felt suddenly that in all these pregnancies that I could not breathe very well, very hard. It was very hard to breathe. But and then suddenly, in this case, then it was easier. This was already when the baby or the fetus, or not even the fetus, the embryo was dead. And this is the main loss that for me emotionally, it was the most difficult one, because now I know I could have done something, and I didn't have any information at all. I didn't expect it. It was just the case. I didn't expect it, but I know now that I could have done something. And at that time it was even more possible than now. So I had done after that 5 more losses, but they were biochemical pregnancies. What is that for many people that do not know? When you have one, you know what it is. It's just after implantation. That means you get pregnant, really. Even if some doctors you go to see and they don't believe you, you have to wait for everything to happen. I mean, to expect everything, because not every doctor knows about this. Not every doctor, because what they can clinically see is a pregnancy, and this is seen in an ultrasound. So if you have a pregnancy test and it's positive, it's positive. But they were all biochemical pregnancies, as I said. And that means that after implantation, you get pregnant, and very few days, it must mostly, even 1 week, I think, was the longest time. Then you get lost. The pregnancy test doesn't get stronger, and then it means you have lost the embryo. And this, of course, is frustration and everything. This is how I emotionally lived it. But in comparison to the first loss, of course you frustrate, and then you lose hope. It's very easy, very human. But I knew, because in my case, I suffered when I think the embryo could suffer or feel something. And even if they say, no, it's nothing, now that I know that I could have done something, this is the first loss was the worst. The other ones were a couple of cells division. Of course, they were also an embryo, but I don't think they suffer a lot. I mean, they don't feel really, no? And that is what it's only the pain that you feel that you were pregnant and then you lost it. And that is more egoistical, I think, from my point of view, than the loss of a child where you were 10 weeks pregnant and you then realize you have lost this, that it has stopped developing at 7 weeks, where it's already something there. It's an embryo, and we don't know, nobody's God to know exactly what does it feel or doesn't feel. So, yeah. This to the history. What else? So I don't forget. So 3 children I already had. It was easy for me to get pregnant, and then I had one loss at 10 weeks. But it was only developed until 7 weeks. I went to the hospital. I was bleeding a bit at the beginning, and then they said, "Oh, it's too soon to see," and I knew it because it was not 7 weeks; it was 10 weeks, and I knew exactly. So these were the losses. So very plain said, and from the first loss. My doctor, my gynecologist, didn't have any clue what was going on, because she knew I was very easy and I am a healthy person. I play sport, I do sport. I mean, I think I consider myself a healthy person. Yeah, she didn't know, but she suspected it was something with progesterone. The first thing that she said to me, if you get pregnant, this is something hormonal, but I don't have any idea. She was very, I like this from this doctor, because I love her, because she's very humble. She's very humble, and tells you right away, I don't know what is going on, and even she tells me, go to a fertility clinic, not to get in vitro or something like that, but because they are the professionals that are specialized in that. And that is what she thought, but she had the intuition that something was going on with the progesterone. And the only factor that was changing, what is a very important factor, but not that, the only factor that was changing from the previous pregnancies where I didn't have any problem was age. What does it mean, age? What does it mean? The only thing is that the eggs are older, then they can have mistakes, or they don't have that quality, so to say. This is the only thing. But it's not only the egg. It's not only the egg, even if it's the most important thing. There are other hormonal issues that come with age, and that is the point here. And I went to this clinic. They could not help me because they did analytics and everything was good, even if it was not good. Then I knew later. I did every test, I did steroids, everything. What you should check, you should see what is going on, if something happens to you. But to sum up, the only factor that was changing for me, I could get pregnant very easy, was age. So if it's your case, it gives you a clue. If I can get pregnant and I'm older, maybe I don't have to wait, of course not to 3 losses like in some places. It's recommended to start studying. You can do your own study, knowing yourself when you ovulate, knowing your cycle, knowing what was going on, using your intuition and your intelligence also to see what might be going on, and ask for a doctor to make tests. Go to another doctor if you need it. I went to another to make a thyroid test. I never had this promise, but maybe this comes with age. I also tried, my gynecologist gave me progesterone, gave me progesterone and 200 milligrams, and I didn't know what doses I should take. She just gave me because she didn't know, but she had a very good instinct. And she just gave me, I didn't know how much I should take and anything, so I suppose 200 I take, and this didn't work also. So progesterone is not only the answer, because I have seen in many videos, take progesterone, but how much I should take, and then I start my work. I had great help from many videos, as I have said at the beginning. Women is telling their stories. One girl, especially Sophie Pickles, I think from England, I'm not sure. She said she experienced that, and then with progesterone she kept the pregnancy. 2, but how much doses? So also you check everything. I would say, even I would recommend, if you are older than 40, for example, to establish an age. Don't go into a pregnancy without checking. Even in the first pregnancy, I would check my progesterone, of course. Now that I have this, if I would be you, and you are over 40, and you are trying naturally to get pregnant, check your progesterone, because maybe you can avoid one miscarriage. You don't know. I was feeling very good. So check progesterone. This was the only thing that changed for me. And check everything. I checked also because my doctor also didn't know, and after several doses, she said, maybe you don't have eggs, but I didn't understand the logic, because if I could get pregnant each time without any difficulty, I had to have eggs. And I think quality eggs, and I will tell you later what were my conclusions. So she did the anti-Mullerian hormone test to see how many, so the quantity of the eggs, and I had 2 or something. This is a lot for my age. It was 42 at that time, and this was a lot. So many people that are younger do not have as much. And but she was saying, okay, this is because you don't have enough eggs or quality eggs, or let's see if you can get pregnant at all, because in her knowledge, and that is not the first time that happens. Even of that, I love her, and I said, okay, she doesn't have any clue, because there are some gynecologists that only get pregnant and test and the normal test, and do about losses, they don't know. This is like this. And then she did this test. So I would recommend everyone who is a bit older to test everything. You can also test anti-Mullerian hormone, you can test your progesterone, you can do a general test. I had to do it in this clinic. They told me everything was good, but it was not good. The progesterone level was at 9 something, and even if they say it's not good, of course they are going to recommend me from the very beginning, because I was 42. Of course they are going to recommend you that you go directly to not of course, but it depends on the center. I was like, right, okay, 40 or 40, then in vitro. And then I think it's very important that before you go to a specialist, also, you know yourself a bit and you get information. And yeah, that is what they told me, that everything was good. So I didn't say, then it has to be the egg, it has to be my quality. And then I cannot do anything. I tried, but they kept going. I did these ovulation tests and these pregnancy tests. They kept being lost. So then what happened? So what was my help? First the experience, the exchange. Then I had like one study, so reading that when you get pregnant, so when the sperm and the egg come together, at the very beginning, it's like the egg is managing these divisions. It's managing these initial divisions, this meiosis. These initial divisions are, at the beginning, managed or organized or orchestrated from the egg. This is what I read. I'm not a doctor that knows exactly how it happens. Many doctors also do not know how it happens, because they are not in the last investigations. So this I read, and I said, okay, if I can get pregnant and the egg is orchestrating everything, my egg do not have to be and all the time pregnant. Each single month I had the loss, break, and then each single month the loss by biochemical pregnancy. So if the egg is orchestrating in my head, then it cannot be that bad. That if I'm getting pregnant, and I know the most difficult process is until you get the implantation done. Then this is the most difficult part after implantation, when you get the positive pregnancy test. Then my egg doesn't have to be that bad. If it is orchestrating very good at the very beginning, after implantation, then it's together at the very beginning. So that was my, okay, strange. And they also in the clinic, they said, oh, you are getting pregnant, It's time I lost. And every hormone is good, they said. So I would tell you, if you have, because I have read also other studies, less than 11 before the pregnancy test, or just in the pregnancy test when you get it positive, then if before 11 is risky. I would take progesterone from the very beginning. I will tell about that, because it's not only after the pregnancy tests, but before, just after ovulation. And then for that you have to check. Okay, to not get confusing now, I will tell you the helps that I had, so different helps. And that is the first, when I tell you that the egg is ruling these first divisions. So if I could get pregnant, I suspected, also in a humble way, my eggs should not be that bad. If they are doing their work, and I'm getting pregnant each month, okay, but the doctors kept saying that is quality, that is, everything is blaming the egg. Of course, age is there. Then, what I came to read, and this helped me enormously, I have thanked this team. This is a medical in Illinois, thank English also, that you can communicate in every language, and so that with every country, so to say. And in the investigation, I love that. I came to an article that was published online for free from the Illinois University, from the medical university in Illinois. I will put the links below. And this was very enormously helpful. I think one of the things that helped me most. This was the case of a woman. She was 39 and then 41. And she kept having losses, not in the first trimester only, but also in the second trimester. And she had progesterone at the doses, I don't know, many different ways, oral, and I will leave the study, oral, but also vaginal. And she had other problems in what was not in my case. In my case, everything was good, but the age, and the age was referred to progesterone, to hormonal issues, not to quality, to the quality only. I had maybe, surely, I had some quality, some good quality eggs, and some there were good. It's obvious, because I could get pregnant. But what I wanted to say is that this study was a girl, and she had several losses, I think 9 losses in the first trimester and the second trimester, and she only had success with controlling different things, because she had also blood clotting problems, and she had to take some heparin and some things like that. But going to the progesterone, what was the main reason for her, also in the study, you can say it, she took progesterone, only it worked that she could get pregnant just 3 days after ovulation. So 3 days after ovulation, and then the whole pregnancy. This rule that in every clinic center also, only the first 12 weeks and these kind of things. You have to check. I think every case is different, and there are not enough studies to see how the progesterone levels can also in the second trimester, if you don't produce, because in the first trimester, it's the corpus luteum. I don't know exactly, this is the name in English exactly. But this is the one producing the progesterone. So, and then after, the placenta should take over, but it's not always the case that it takes over so well, and that the endogenous, so the progesterone that you have in your body, that your body is producing in the placenta, maybe it's not enough, because of age also. And it was her case, and I really loved, I'm so glad, I'm so thankful that this study was published, because this was the key for me. And then other things. Then I got progesterone, as you know, at the very beginning. I will leave the link of the study below. And I asked also for permission if I could publish it, and I could not be more thankful, really. This saved the life of now that I'm carrying. If everything goes well, because I'm afraid until the beginning, before I was not afraid at all, but I'm afraid that I might not have, because they recommend to stop progesterone to 36. Also like standards, but let's see how much progesterone, because what I don't want, and I'm not going to risk it, is that she dies in the womb, this baby, and because I don't have enough progesterone, because I don't produce. So let's see. What I wanted to say, I leave the study, and then there was also another study, very, very, very interesting. This was a Spanish study. I also leave it below. This is also what I read. I read that, you know how we are, no? When we have a problem, some people just want to know everything, and I'm this kind of people. I want to read everything to get exchange from many sides. And a great woman in blogs also that helped me, and couples also. But this study was an experimental study. They didn't do anything. It's just they compared in the hospital women the values of progesterone at the beginning of the first, just after the pregnancy tests, the first weeks, or even because this study was with pregnant women already, so they had to know, at least from a test, they were pregnant. And they experienced the women without doing anything, without giving progesterone, but women that had lower progesterone had always their loss at the week 6 or 7. I'm going to leave it also. I come from Spain, I was born there, and this study was very interesting. So if you don't do anything, and it was not with a special old women, but this is only to say, if you have a loss, please check your hormones. If you get pregnant and you are a bit older, you are not older, but you know, for being pregnant after 40, then check everything, because these women, everyone, the weeks that were most dangerous or most risky if you have low progesterone levels were week 6 and 7, and I said, my God, I read exactly what happened to me, because of course I experienced that at week 10, but the baby stopped living at week 7. I even came with the baby to the doctor to ask her, when do you think that, to the baby, I tell baby's embryo, when do you think, because it came out at home. I don't recommend you also to do any bad things, and so many, I would say, scare you. People, I don't know what it is. I mean, if you have an older baby, but I am always this is my experience also. I always think everything natural goes better, and just to be more relaxed, and the body is going to do what it has to do. The body had to kill, so to say, had to stop, not kill, because the body didn't kill. But the lower of my hormones killed the baby because they didn't accept it was not enough to keep life, and also the biochemical pregnancies, the progesterone didn't accept the genetic material that was not coming from me, from my partner. I'm going to explain now later about this, but okay, it was these investigation studies that also brought life. The investigation study from Illinois was key, and then it was also, I found these nice guidelines. I think they are in England, but they said when you have several miscarriages, I didn't have to use any shots, but when you have several miscarriages, the doses, and that was also key, a bit of here, a bit of here, a bit of here, the doses that you need to take of progesterone is 800 milligrams per day. So, and this with the study from Illinois, I did it from 3 days after ovulation. So, 800 milligrams per day. It was the right doses. I have experienced so many things. I have taken progesterone just after ovulation, but not in the right doses. I have taken progesterone after pregnancy tests, not with the right doses, and with the right doses of 800 milligrams after I knew it didn't work. And then when I started taking the doses following the study also of 800 milligrams 3 days after vaginal, 3 days after ovulation, I did that only experimental to measure my values of progesterone, to have data, to know myself better, to have data. And it was before, when I lost the pregnancies, 9 that they would say, okay, it's okay, it's okay, not okay, it's not okay. As I already said, there are studies when if you have lower than 11, they put you shots. I didn't have to take any shot. I tried with vaginal progesterone. It's called Ordoñez in Germany. It's what is produced actually in Spain. I read it. And I took it two because they come in 200 milligrams. I took 2 in the morning and 2 in the evening. More or less 12 hours apart. And that's what I did. And what worked. And I did it experimental. It was like a bit, it was like keep trying. And just before I said, I thought, okay, maybe I'm going to in vitro or something. It worked. Also, what I want to say, what else helped me? These videos for many people telling that progesterone helped her to keep life of the embryos. And then the blogs in Spain, I read a lot of Spanish girls that were writing, Spanish moms, that they took progesterone and baby aspirin. And this is what I did. I followed that, but they didn't say also sometimes, I didn't have any information about the doses. The doses I took from the guidelines, the NICE guidelines. So everything together. I took even baby aspirin. In Germany, they have not, and it was enough, you don't need to take, that is my experience also, I repeat, because I don't expect that I have any coagulation problems or issues, but yet I took it because it's also better for me, because my how do you say, the irrigation, so all the veins and everything, it was always my problem. So it's like, this is genetic. So I didn't have any coagulation problem, but I took it like preventive. I took it 75, because 75 milligrams, I think, I'm not sure. I'm going to check, yes, but I think yes, 75 milligrams, yes. And also I read another study that they recommended 100 milligrams for these many people that are in vitro, that are doing in vitro, take 100 milligrams also, preventive. And these women were getting pregnant naturally also, and some after in vitro, and they took 100 milligrams. But I read, as I wanted to say, in a study, you don't need to take, so the effect was enough with 100 milligrams 4 days in the week. So I calculated, okay, 75, that is what they sell in Germany. I'm going to take this preventive 75, and it's also better for me now, only for the pregnancy. After birth, I'm going to stop everything. But it keeps me, I'm not so, I can breathe well and everything. So I think it helps a bit. I did it only preventive, so the key was the progesterone, that for sure. What else helped me? So these videos, these blogs, the studies, and the NICE guidelines, they were key to me. So what else to say that I don't forget? That I checked in anti-mullerian hormone, it was good. I'm not a special person, I mean, genetically, my family, I have one grandmother who had the last child at 41, and at that time it was the nutrition and everything was not that good, maybe, and she had to work quite hard. So it can be a part from that genetically I can have, or I'm blessed that I can have children, but the other part, at 38, could not have any children anymore, 38. And yes, from my grandmothers. And yeah, so I'm not special at all, it's just normal, I think. And what else? What else? One important thing. In these trials that I said that I did, I did one video from a girl that was very, very great. One girl who was very young, and they said also quality egg problem. This is a quality egg problem. And then she had 4 children at the same time. 4 children. And then they recommended her to kill some of them. She didn't do it, of course, thank God. But, I mean, she could not, they told her it's quality egg. And maybe it's an hormonal issue, maybe with more children she could have a higher progesterone. I don't know exactly, I don't have any idea. But and she was young. Some issues she had, but she tried, and that was very interesting, that I asked the clinic to make that for me, so that I could have, because they said right away, for the money, come and do in vitro. You don't have a lot of chances. Even if I could get pregnant, it was no problem. In vitro, this is quality egg. So as I had read the equality, as I had read as I had seen this video, I said, why do I have to do it in vitro? If I can get pregnant, I just want to try if they are dying to see if there is the quality, the egg quality. Then I'm going to try what she tried, and it was a low stimulation, not to get the eggs out of my body, so to keep the eggs, so that in one cycle, instead, in my mind, rational mind, it doesn't work like this. If I have with one egg, I lose the child, maybe with 2 eggs, I have double in my mind, only rational thought, double possibilities that one egg and one sperm stick. And then I keep this baby. If it's like this, then the reason, please let's have a try. I paid 400 euros for nothing, just to take some. I took letrozole, and I didn't take the eggs outside, so no, but it's better that you analyze it genetically. Okay, let's see. I just want to know go now and try everything. Try it. This, it was very interesting. I have my theories about this. 3 theories. This was the only cycle where I could not get pregnant. It was for me amazing. I mean, in every cycle, naturally, I could get pregnant, even if I had 1 egg. When I stimulated, even very low stimulated, and I had 2 eggs, and the endometrium was great, and everything was great, I could not get pregnant. That was for me like a light that IV or external medication or something in vitro or something that is going on to you, if you are healthy, if this is working well and you are getting pregnant, this has very lower chances, in my experience, I'm speaking about my experience, that you get pregnant even. Something is there that is damaging the quality, the medicament, the medicines that you are taking, that is doing something on the eggs, because I could not explain myself this. This was incredible. This was for me like, my God, now that I had theoretically double chances, I don't even get pregnant. So that is what the lines also, there was a doctor that writes always hope. I have to say, I didn't get to pay him or to do, but he follows, and he's in the USA also, follows very natural lines to get pregnant and has helped many women. These kind of procedures, if you can get pregnant, they are of course much more recommended from my experience. What I can tell you, I don't have experience with him, but as I tell you, the natural way to see what is missing naturally and to do as much as so less medication as needed, that is only when it's needed. This has, in my experience, much more chances of success than doing in vitro. And I have a friend I love, it's like my sister. I don't know, I don't speak a lot with her because she has is blocked about this, about she's trying to have children now. She's 41, and she was recommended in vitro, and she's happy, but she has done so many procedures. I don't know. I would always, I tell her, even if I don't want to enter there, because she doesn't want that. I know she doesn't want to. There are people and people's personality, and some people just want to go to the doctor and the doctor says and point, and they don't look and a bit investigate what might be going on. There's different personalities, but it's not working for her. And I try naturally, please. And if not, of course you go there and look there and analyze yourself. I don't know. This is what I think. Second thing, what was I speaking? This is so long, so many information. Also, why do I think I had quantity, not quality of eggs? Because this quality of eggs, you can only measure it when you have an embryo and you do it in vitro. That's what I thought about doing in vitro. okay, if it's quality of the egg and of the embryo, then I can get genetically. But this is the last option I wanted to try. And gladly it was not necessary. But what I wanted to say, why do I think I have so much, the anti-mullerian hormone was not that low for my age? Maybe. And I think it's because I have given birth, how do you say this? I have breastfeed all my children, and they were at least 2.5 years, everyone, and in this time I'm not ovulating. So I told that to my doctors that is silly, that doesn't have any sense. And for me, in my head, it does make sense because I save these eggs to ovulate. Of course, the quality is getting worse because I'm getting older. But for me, in my head, it makes sense. And this is that I'm keeping many eggs that are not being ovulated, and I have them. Many of them may die, many of them might not be good, or get, of course, with time worse, but I have a very good quantity of eggs. That is my second thing. I wanted to say about progesterone. Sadly, I could not find any preparation, any medicine that had not titanium dioxide. Titanium dioxide is very risky to produce cancer, and it is incredible that I could not find any of that. And it's not blah blah, as it was prohibited in France in the food industry in 2020. In Germany, it was in the food industry prohibited. It's in many big vitamins also. You have to look at this. I find it incredible. What was I was saying? In Germany in 2022, and we have in Germany there is one institute, Bundesinstitut für Risikobewertung, so they measure the risk of many substances, and it's like critically cancer producing. I mean, it's very risky. That's why it was prohibited in the food industry, but go to the pharmaceutical industry, it's like everywhere. Be careful with that. And I was looking for preparedness, even if it saved this life. This is also you have to be aware also that everything has effects, and even if it's only, that is what I don't understand, because progesterone doesn't have titanium dioxide. It's the envelope, this white thing, the envelope that is not necessary in my head. Maybe it is for coming into the cells, the progesterone, I don't know. But it's supposedly not necessary. It's like making it beautiful, for example, food, making it more beautiful, excuse me, but I prefer to be not risking having cancer than having a nice pill. That is, and this is also a point where I was very surprised. So please, the producers that are Spanish, please try, or somebody in the market, please try to produce progesterone for women that have this need or have these issues. Please, also for later for women to feel better, they take progesterone. Please, that there is that we only do not think on money. Please, we want that medicines are for something good and that they help, and if we can avoid as many risks as possible, please. So I would tell the producer, please, to manufacture a product, a medicine that is free from titanium dioxide. So I'm risking that, but it was my decision. I knew exactly, and some other things are more dangerous, like estrogens. Many things that women take for in vitro also. It's not only in vitro is going to make it. Be careful, because of course I know this desire and this love, but we have to be aware. It's just to be aware that to try to have as many risks and then to make a decision, because for me it was the decision. I'm going to try it. And of course I'm risking having cancer. I know there are worse things, but it was my decision, and I did a conscious decision about this. Even if I tried to find everywhere medicine without progesterone, without titanium dioxide. So, what else? What else I wanted to say? This is my thesis about the anti-mullerian hormone. Then about progesterone, what I took, it was Ordoñez in Germany, and that you check everything from the beginning, just when you are getting pregnant. I won't wait to have 2 losses, not even 1. So if you are older, check everything. Be sure that you have your progesterone levels more than 11. If not, take some preparates, take something vaginally. It's better. It was enough for me, but it's my experience. I have seen also videos from women who say they needed to take shots, and just with shots they are more effective. I have read also a study. There was another doctor also from the USA making a lot of videos, a bit older. I'm going to look for him also, because he also had good inputs. But so the main information was that. Then that was the thing. I think, I don't know what else I do have to comment, but what was the solution for me? Now, summing up, I became 6 losses. First was at 7 weeks, because I suppose at that time I had a bit more progesterone than later, because it goes with age. This is also another thing I read. When you get older, the progesterone levels get lower. When you enter in this period where you are getting over 10 years, maybe 5 years, I don't know, menopause, so when you are losing your capacity of having eggs and children and everything, the progesterone levels go down naturally. So this we also should know. And what else? Then what I decided to do is just to measure myself. I tried just experimentally. I saw that progesterone was not 9 if I didn't take it in the amount as I should just after ovulation, was 15. And then suddenly, even when we went to make tests, further tests for his sperma, my partner's sperma and everything, I continued measuring just parallel to the study from Illinois, and I saw my values were getting better. And also the pregnancy tests, don't worry too much if you don't see that it doubles each 48 hours as I did. I was very worried, and I said, okay, this is lost, this is lost, this is lost. No, the important thing is that you take progesterone, and only that the line gets a bit darker. It's enough, don't get so crazy. I am like, I want to see everything and understand everything, but I saw this was enough. Maybe one day was not double after 2 days or something like that. But this was the important thing, that they get a bit darker. And then you will see that it goes well. And then what I wanted to say, that is, thank this study. Everyone would recommend me to stop it at 12 weeks, okay? And then I waited until week, because of this study, also that helped me a lot. I waited until week 17 just to try. So it's not very logical to me, like in many hospitals, you know. Okay, after 24 hours, if you have lost your back, so but then you have to be induced and you have to give birth. All right, please, let's have data and let's see what is my situation exactly. I wanted to say that it's not 60 weeks, 12 weeks for everyone. Usually in this time the placenta takes over, but it's not always happening that in that way. And I suppose in my case not. At 16 weeks I measured my progesterone. It was almost 38 nanograms per milliliter. And I just tried to stop to see at 16 weeks, 17 weeks, a bit more than she had done in the study, because she tried to stop at 16 weeks, and then the woman in the study from Illinois, it was so bad, it went so abruptly down that she had to continue until the end of the pregnancy with progesterone, the same doses that she had, higher doses. For me, it worked the 800 milligrams per day. And in my case, I stopped at 17 and I just said, okay, for science, I am going to check. I felt so horrible. I remember I stopped only and didn't stop. I took the half because I didn't dare to stop completely abruptly. I took half of so that means I took 400 milligrams per day instead of 800 milligrams. And I only kept doing that 1 day and a half. That means instead of taking 1,200 milligrams, I took 600 milligrams in these 2 days. I felt so horrible, so horrible. I had to lie down to get to the bus because I didn't have energy. And I felt very bad, very, very, very bad. Even I went to take tests because I wanted to have data about how was going on with me in my body. I took the test and it was reducing from 38 to 34 in just 1 day. That was the value I had in week 8 or something like that, you know? I don't know exactly, but the value that I had, see, yes, more or less like the week 8 of the pregnancy, I have this value, and just in 1.5 days. And they even wanted to take blood from me, and they could not. They had to do it in my hand. I was so horrible. I was so weak, and I got normal food, and so incredible. So I said, no, it's the same. I'm going to take progesterone further. The doctor also recommended me, my gynecologist, take further. And then I did all the tests, normal tests. It was everything good, genetically good. I tested. I would not have done anything after keeping the baby, but it was the test at 12 weeks. I was expecting a boy, because when I ovulated, it was not even day 9, and then we had intercourse, and it was after ovulation. I didn't know it. I expected ovulation 3 days later, and I suppose that the quick, thinner or not so heavy sperm would have done the job. But in this case, it worked every child for me. The girl was done before ovulation, the second boy exactly on the ovulation time, and the third I don't know. The third we don't know, but it's a boy also. And I was expecting, I even bought some things for a boy, you know, that I saw in the supermarket as soon as I knew that I was going. And then our surprise, and we are so glad it's a girl. Hopefully she lives. I am not until the end, until she is independent from me, from my body, from my blood system. I am not sure about anything. I will go as relaxed as I can and always measuring, and let's see at the end. If you are seeing this video, this is because everything went well. And yeah, it was suddenly a girl, and we are so happy because my daughter is the oldest one, always wanted a girl, and the third one I thought if it's a girl, it's done. If not, it means maybe I have to have a fourth child. This is how I felt it. Yeah, and luckily my partner lost children too, and we wanted to have this family, even if I didn't expect at all. So what else? These things that then I feel bad, and I'm sure if I had stopped progesterone, this pregnancy would have stopped also. And on this regard, the second trimester, there are a lot of investigation being done now, but there is very little in comparison with the first trimester. And this is, in my case, it was crucial, this study from Illinois, really. And they are going to do, because I contacted John P. Holden, and they are going to make this data and many other studies to help everyone. And yeah, I didn't have any contact with this university, with the USA, there, nothing. And he was so great answering me. Even I asked him now, please contact me, he said, and they are going to do this database with several studies for everyone to reach for free. Also, it's very useful for doctors and people that we don't know a lot. It's not so economically interesting to make investigation on that, but it saves lives. It saves lives, wished lives, and it's very important. And yeah, in this case, many people that are going through the same as me, and even worse, and many things, or better, have to study yourself, your body, and look and investigation is great, and these people that offer the service. But as I wanted to say, I even contacted him to tell me until when does he think that I should take progesterone, because what is the problem? Progesterone inhibits a bit the contractions, and of course I have had only natural births. The best were not in the hospital, were in a Geburtshaus, it's in Germany. This is a girl where there are no doctors. That is bad at that time, because I would like to have a doctor there, but it's everything very familiar, very quiet. I always think giving birth it was for me a very great experience, and I think it's emotional and mental, how you are prepared more than 90%, and how do you feel. It's very important. It's not luxus that you go to it's not to have everything very nice, and so I, for example, need to give birth in a bath with warm water. And yeah, it was very good for me, this way of giving birth. And what I wanted to say, I have lost completely now. What I wanted to say, this was not important for you. Yes, that he told me that to take progesterone until week 38. Usually they recommend me in the place where I went to do the special test to see the screening where I did it at 12 weeks and at 20 something weeks, 22, 23, I'm not sure. 23 can be, I don't know. And everything was very good, working very good. And they told me until 36, but this is like, okay, 36, 38. This I'm going to see. At the end I'm going to see, I told him. I don't expect any issues, because this woman of the study had preeclampsia and had another issue, so she had to have a C-section, so I don't expect other issues. I don't have anything about preeclampsia and everything. But related to progesterone, I am of course very afraid, because I experienced stopping it in the middle of the pregnancy, more or less, and it was not good. It would have been very wrong. And I'm going to see, I'm going to take, as he said, until week 38. Maybe from there I take only half of it. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to feel my body. And if I don't see, I expect always a birth a bit before the date. And then I'm going to see how I feel. If I take or reduce progesterone, I feel very bad. I'm going to take it despite of not having contractions, and then I have to be induced and seek a section also. But this time I don't want to risk anything, her life. I don't want to risk her life. And yeah, that is what I did. And what I have done until now, I will, when I post this video, I will maybe write down what happened at the end. If you see this video, this means the girl is healthy outside and born, and I'm going to give feedback on, because I want a natural birth if possible, only if possible, what I did at the end about progesterone. And that's all. If I feel very bad, I'm going to take it right away, because I don't want to risk that she might die there inside. So this is my, I imagine that she might die asphyxiated or something like this, or I don't know, that my body is pushing her, and I don't know, I don't know. I'm going to do it like as she said. I think more or less 38 weeks and a half, it's going to be enough, it's going to be there, the child, it's always like this. First was 3 days before, second 10 days before, third 12 or 13 days, so I expect 2 weeks before this fourth child. And let's see, if I don't have contractions, I'm going to feel something. I think I'm going to feel something. And yeah, let's see. I'm going to use my sense of myself, how I feel, and tell you how I have done it at the end. And in any case, not risk her life as much as I can. I don't mind. Of course I mind. I would not like to have a section or anything, but if it's necessary, because I have doubts about how I'm feeling and it can affect her life, I'm going to go to the end with progesterone, as the girl in the study did, only she had to give birth before. And I think it's everything said. Yeah, it's too long, I know, but it's so many details and so many information. I will leave the main links below. You can see the study also, if you wish, below. And yeah, thank you so much for your attention. I hope this video really helps more than many women and many couples also, and that encourages you to have hope and just to try everything. I'm not going to say it's going to work for you or it's not going to. This is my story, my personal experience. I think you can take several learnings from that. Like, for example, try naturally, check yourself all the time and keep trying. This is the most important thing. Keep trying different things also, because I never repeated the thing that I did. Keep trying and keep trying until the end. If you don't get it, then at least you can be quiet with yourself. Maybe it was not for you. I know it's very hard. It's silly to say this, but if you have tried everything, at least you can say, from my part, I've tried everything. There is something I cannot control that doesn't want it, but try everything, and this means really everything. The last option, and it can be an option, in vitro, and not maybe one time, but I can tell you, try naturally if you can. This option should be the first ones, because nature is still much cleverer than we are. Even if there are many success stories with that, but it's still, if it's working, nature. This time was not natural for me, because I was missing an hormone that is essential. Also, yes, this thing I forgot. Why is progesterone so important? It's not very well known why it's so important, but I have to tell 2 points that it was very important for me. It's not only to keep a pregnancy, it's the most important hormone in pregnancy, progesterone, to keep the pregnancy. It was in my 5 biochemical pregnancies. It was key to accept the embryo. I had always the loss just after implantation. I didn't have enough progesterone in my body, and the genetical part of my partner was rejected from my body. It was like, okay, progesterone helped me to accept this part and keep it in my body. It's like when you take an organ or from somebody else, you have to take some hormones to accept so that the body doesn't reject it. And my progesterone was so low that I kept rejecting the embryo that was implanted. Everything went well, the development went well. I consider that the egg quality was not bad, was good, even for my age. Of course, worse than before, but it was enough. It doesn't have to be an egg of good quality is enough. And keep trying, check yourself, check the hormones, check everything. Look for a doctor that is going to help you to check everything, that is going to help you. My doctor gave me progesterone prescriptions, and she didn't know, she had a good intuition, but it helped me, and it was also my perseverance also to try different things and see what it is. And as a general recommendation, if you are having miscarriages or have had one, this is what the girls in Spain helped me. Aspirin, baby aspirin, preventive, and progesterone. And in the right doses. Check your values. I had to pay for everything. Nobody paid that for me. I had to pay for each check, but I wanted to have information. And this was at the end what helped me. I would have gone the next cycle maybe to if out just to check if it was really the egg quality, because I could not imagine. I'm sure if they had analyzed the the girl at 7 weeks that stopped, I'm sure it was now after the studies, it was very good. The girl in the study had 9 losses, all were genetically good. So, because at the beginning I was like, okay, it was still not good, it's better if this happens. You want to rationally so make you not so sad, but it's not good, but it's how it is. We have to accept the things. The first pregnancy loss, I could have saved her if I had knowledge. I could have saved her. And that's why I tell you to check everything. And I think I don't forget anything. Yeah, I will post it, I will put below the things, and that's what I said. Progesterone, baby aspirin, check, 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 check. And you are special, you are unique. You have to check in yourself, not okay, after 12 weeks you stop. Then you have to be sure that this is like this. Mostly for many women that are not having easy pregnancies, that they get pregnant once in a year maybe, or once in 5 years. Check continuously, and don't allow somebody, okay, you can stop. No, if you are telling me this as a doctor, please check me after I'm not taking any progesterone if the values are going low. Because if the values are going low, maybe you need a bit of help. So don't believe in just things that work for everybody. You have to check yourself, your body, and seeing how it's working. I wish you all the best. Don't lose hope. To keep trying is like I would say, and if not, there are other options, but keep trying different things. Keep trying. This is my recommendation and the best for you.